Harold Meischler was born in 1946 and grew up in Osborne, Kansas. Before coming to the University of Kansas, Meischler attended Kansas Wesleyan University. He joined the Air Force where he achieved the rank of captain. Meischler was killed in action on December 23, 1973, in Laos. Childhood friend Leon Schneider remembers his death and how Harold was a good kid.
He was a very nice guy. He was a likable guy. Never got into trouble. All the way through high school, the same thing there. He was very likable. When we had homecoming, and I thought about this afterwards, when we had homecoming, you know, there's a queen and a king back then. And the king was, you know, of course, a football player, and also, you know, popularity always gets into it too. And there were five of us that were nominated, and when they introduced, you know, everybody, they started with 5, 4, 3, and 2, and when there was just two left, it was Harold and I that were still standing. And I thought that was really quite something. A couple of little hick boys from the country are the ones that had ended up being the most thought of as football players and individuals too. My dad called. I lived down here in Oklahoma, and I remember very, very clearly. I know what you swear I was dead is what Dad called and told me. It was very upsetting. Well, and I felt bad not keeping that better with him. And then after that, the evidence, you know, it was, I don't remember exactly when Dad called, but it was in December, I believe, of '72, the year he was killed. And he was killed on his sister's birthday. The next spring, we were home because it was our 10th year anniversary, our 10th year reunion, and I run on to his mother, and she kept saying, I wish you could have been there. I wish you could have been there.
David Gibson was born in 1939 and grew up in Lawrence, Kansas. After briefly attending the University of Kansas, Gibson joined the Army and became a captain. Gibson passed away in South Vietnam on April 8, 1967. He was 28 years old. Donald Kennedy, who was a fellow company commander with Gibson at Fort Hood, Texas, remembers Gibson as a competitive soldier who epitomized the ideal military man.
We were fellow company commanders in the 2nd of the 58th Infantry at Bravo Company, and I had D for Delta Company. And David was I think he graduated from Kansas or something, but he was a West Point want-to-be, epitome of the military, you know. And I was real laid back, you know, cool. I wore my uniform the regulation way and had my, we were fellow company commanders. I had my Jeep regulation olive drab. Well, he shined his up. That was just David, and he wore his uniforms perfect. Perfect posture. He was kind of a little guy, but he stood up straight. But he was just the epitome of military. He lived and breathed it. His stature, you know, his posture was always just almost, I don't know, he must have slept at attention.